We are at $1,200 for the day. We have 2 micro contracts open. Looking for this right here. Then this right here as the market kind of regains itself to the high. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to leave because I'm already up $1,200. I'm risking $100. I'm going to leave these 2 micro contracts up for the rest of the morning to see if I can get all the way back to this area here. This is the high. I've gone just below the high. This is an $800 trade. Let me show you. Buy 2 contracts. That is worth $800. And we're going to see if we can get 800 ticks over the course of the next 2 hours. It's 10 minutes to 9, and we are already up. I hate that. It's 10 minutes to 9, and we are already up 97 ticks. So we're just going to let this ride out. This is the 15-minute time frame. The 15 minutes 200 EMA is right here. Very important resistance area. So we get there. That will be $500. Great trade for $500. We'll take that $500, but we are holding out for it to go back to the high of the day, which is right here where it gapped up last night. Ran down all night in the trend, so we're in a downtrend, but right now we are recovering. And since we're recovering, I took my trade just before the blue line here and to carry all the way up there. We're currently at 99 ticks, and that's why I like to use 2 micro contracts or 2 mini contracts, because whatever number you put in this box is the number that you're going to get out of that. So 800 ticks is what I had locked in. 100 ticks is what I was willing to lose. That is that's 8 times the amount of possible loss that I have there is what I'm going to take if it gets all the way back to the high, which it should. SPY is currently $6 lower than it was when it closed. The market closed of the day, right? It ran all the way down to 587, 586.50, and then we've been climbing back ever since. So that being said, we're in an overall downtrend of the day, but they're probably going to start with a little bit of a pullback and then run it back up to the high, and then they'll decide from there what they want to do with it. They'll at least run it back up to the $90 point, because we're going to have a lower week. We'll sit around this $90 point, and they'll decide what they're going to do from there. $92, $592 is another very important area to break in order to get back up. They were never going to run all the way to $600 without pulling back first. You have this massive jump up right here. You left this little gap behind right here that eventually we're going to have to come down and touch. But for the time being, we're climbing our way back up. We're up 119 ticks or $119. And we're going to let this trade just ride and ride and ride until the 9:30 in the morning open. And then maybe even the 10 if 9:30 doesn't get us what we need out of this. But for right now, we're good. We're up 100. We're letting it run. And we're going to let this market just ride out. The market is down $300 to start the day. So plenty of room for it to grow back up as far as NQ goes and MNQ goes. But that's what I like. I like that we got our money in the market at 4 o'clock in the morning, set ourselves up for a great day. And if we manage to get this $800, we'll set ourselves up for a $2,000 day. And all we got to do is ride this micro trade. Now, what will we do? What we will do is market this, close this, and prevent ourselves from going negative. So we'll protect it just below this line here. And this will prevent us from ever going negative, but we can also just leave the trade open and let it breathe and not have to worry about losing any money. Okay, so we come out of this with a pullback to where we are currently locked in, and that's $30 of the 90 of the 100 something dollars that we're at now. So it would have to fall $60 more to come all the way back to me. We're looking for it to make its way up here and then make its way to this blue line, which will be the $500 mark. Again, like I said, I got nothing to worry about because no matter what, I'm up $1,200. So I'm gonna take off. I'll let you guys I'll come back and play it later on or whatever, but for the time being, I'm gonna get ready to move on with the rest of my day. $30 locked in of this $80 trade so far. And we're just going to wait patiently and see what happens. We're getting over 100 ticks right now. We want to see us go to the 200 tick, 300 tick, 400 tick, obviously 800 tick mark. And in order to do that, we're going to have to be patient. This candle right here, this 4-hour candle right here, went 800 ticks. So we're looking for this candle over the next 4 hours to do a similar thing. We had 4, 8, 12, 16 hours of just running down. And now we're looking to have a 4-hour window of it running up to this point right there. Mark out all the areas leading up to the $800 mark. And just chill. The overall trend of the market is still up. The fear and greed index is still really high. There's plenty of days of greed ever since May 5th. So we're on about a 10-day greed streak. We'll probably keep it going this week. But the market's going to recess. It's always going to recess. It's always going to correct itself. You're going to have up days. You're going to have down days. You're going to have high days. You're going to have low days. So just go with the flow of the market. You know, find the overall range. Find the overall trend. And we're in a high range right now. So since we're in a high range, take advantage. You know, make yourself some money. 102 ticks already. Beautiful. We've been up as high as 150 ticks. So I got plenty of room to play with before I come back down to my $30 mark. And we will take $500 of this $800 move that we're looking for, by the way. So we get the $300, we'll lock in $300 once we get beyond there, and then we'll wait for it to get to anywhere else. Let's see where $300 is. So it's currently at 120. $300 is right here. So let's mark that out. The white line, move that white line up ever so slightly. 350 is going to be right here. Mark out 350 with the white line. So we're looking to surpass these next 4 lines before we lock in profit again. But y'all have a great day. Enjoy this market. I made all my money at 4 o'clock in the morning for the most part. Right now we're just batting clean up, seeing what we can get out of it. And this is how I like to start my days. I like to go heavy when the market is slower and smoother and easier to read. And then I will come back and take a micro trade and just leave that puppy open to see what the market does for the day overall. Risking right now nothing because I'm up $30 no matter how this trade goes, but risking $100 to start the trade. But I'll check y'all out later on. Y'all be easy. And this has been another full transparency trading session where I'm your boy Sebastian, and you guys know the motto: take the easy money. If you see green and you take green, you will stay green. And I'm out.